flag draft. He's the biggest name in the draft. He's one of the best prospects we've seen in a long time. He now has a goatee, and I think he's wearing the goatee because he's tired of people thinking that he's 17 years old. Randolph, what do you make of Cooper Flagg? What do you make of his eventual and inevitable selection here by Dallas? How does he fit with Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Kyrie Irving, and the Mavericks?
I think he's going into the best situation of a freshman, maybe in the history from a number one draft picks in the NBA. You're going in to a playoff-ready team that's going to have, when they're healthy, he'll be the third or fourth option on that team. And that's incredible when you're talking about one of the more complete, if not the most complete prospect we've had in, 20 years. So does everything well. I think he's going to continue to improve and everything else, but he comes to the door day one, ideal situation, ready to help and compete. And I think the Mavericks are they're delighted to have him, obviously. And I expect big things. They're going to be a problem in the West if healthy.
Henson?
When we talked in the preseason, guys, I think we said if the kid averaged 16 and 7 and 4 assists, he'd be a National Player of the Year type player. It'd be an unbelievable year. Well, Cooper Flagg averaged 19 plus, 7.5 rebounds, more than 4 assists, a block and a half, a steal and a half, and he shot 39% from three. An insane freshman year that had me calling Cooper Flagg a really good number 2 option to a guy that you can build your franchise around after the season.
Yeah, he's what your NBA team wants: size, length, athleticism that can defend, play multiple positions. You saw in the finals, the 4s and the 5s were. Hey, look, it was kind of like a boxing match. All right, we're going to throw Chet at the 4, at the 5 this time. Thunder's best lineup was with Chet Holmgren, by far, not even close, at the 5. The Pacers, they played well with Siakam at the 5. So he's a prototypical prospect. Not only prototypical, now he's your number 1 pick, the best player in the draft, by no question about it. The Dallas Mavericks are in a good spot, and they have a bridge as well, because now they're going to be able to bridge that future, right? So, I mean, they're trading away Luka and getting that. I mean, Nico needs to go to the casino, man. He's got some luck on his side.
Hey, Cooper Flagg, we talk so much, and there's been so much conversation, not just here with us, but in general, about the face of the NBA. Who's going to be the next guy? Who's going to be next face? I think it's this guy who's getting drafted by the Dallas Mavericks tonight. I think we don't have to worry about that. He's going to an ideal situation that's going to expedite that, and I think he's the next American superstar.
That's where I land with it, right? Like, if he was the normal age for a college freshman and he did all this and did what he did this season, we'd be raving about how good he is as a player. And he's not. He was the youngest player in Division I basketball last season. He turned 18 on December 21st. If he was 11 days younger, he would not be eligible for this NBA draft. Like, the fact that he did all this at the age that he did it is absolutely incredible.
Jeff, do you remember this? We were down at Peace Jam. And this was 2 years ago when he was playing. He didn't play 17, so was it 15, 16, 16s? And he was about 6'7" at the time. And he was he was great. But we were kind of like, or I was, let me say me, but we both had this conversation where it was like, all right, at 6'7", he's playing like the 4. He's got to grow. He's getting better. All these things. We were having some concerns. And then he just continued to get better. He grew. He checked every box, man. He exceeded the expectations, and that's not easy to do because those things were ridiculously high about him coming into Duke. And, we'll get into that another day, but they were, to me, a point guard away from winning a national championship, in my opinion.
So
do you think
if he does go number 1 as expected here by Dallas with Kyrie, who's coming off the knee injury, he's going to miss some time this season, and Anthony Davis, another injury-prone player. Where does Dallas fit in this conversation in which it's fairly wide open right now? I mean, Oklahoma City, certainly, they're the favorites to repeat, but nobody's repeated for a while. Where's Dallas fit in that combo if those guys are healthy?
They're right there. I would put if they're healthy, they're right there. I mean, it's OKC. You got to go with OKC, but after that, it's not just the starters; it's the depth. And with Cooper, with that starting lineup, with those guys, once healthy and complete, and if they get the right point guard, that they're involved with the rumors that they're saying, whether it's Chris Paul, whomever it may be, to kind of bridge that gap until Kyrie gets back, they're a team that I don't think anybody want to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, when you saw them healthy a few times, right?
Yes.
They looked apart. They looked apart without Cooper Flag, right? Kyrie, AD, the lobs, and I think the thing that most excites me about them is the versatility of their lineups. They can go big, small. Put Cooper at the forward, AD at the 5. Maybe throw Cooper at the 3, depending on the situation. You got Kyrie, like, and you've got the young kid who looks really good and hardy, and so it's if they get healthy, man, it's going to be a 2-year window, but I think they're going to be really good.
The thing I love about him most, and I'll say this, is that even though we're in this 3-ball era, everybody's shooting it, he's not the way he plays. He's coming in day one. You run a ball screen with him and Kyrie, you switch, he posting your guards up. You put a bigger guy on him, he's involved in ball schemes. He's going to do the same thing he did in college and go right to the NBA, and he won't miss a beat.
I think it's undervalued, the importance of players that just understand the right play to make, right? Like guys that are going to catch the ball in the wing and either shoot the open 3 or kind of rip through and straight line drive to the basket. I think 10, 12, 14 years ago, it was, what's their bag look like? How good are they one-on-one? Can they beat this guy off the bounce? Can he score in isolation? Can he beat a mismatch? Can he beat a switch? And I think it's the NBA has gone more towards it's pace and space and how quickly can you execute and how quickly can you process the game. And to me, the thing that makes Cooper Flag so good is he could do all of that stuff. Like we knew he could do all of that stuff that makes you a great role player before this past season. That's what he was great at when he was growing up, Henson. But what we saw this past year was he could also go and get you 40 if he needed, right? He could be a go-to guy. He shot over 40% from 3, and we were like, I don't know if this guy can shoot. I think the fact that he turned into like the number one go-to guy while all of that was happening and doing all the other stuff, that's what makes him so special in my mind.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he presents a matchup problem as well, even though, you don't like to think of him as a matchup problem with the pieces around. You can't really help off AD, right? Like you can't really help, right? So he's going to be able to kind of get in his bag. I kind of say like with LaMelo Ball, he's got the weight over nice. So he's like Cooper Flag's going to be able to just kind of ease into this being the man. And I think Kyrie and AD, I both know them personally. Like they're great dudes, great teammates. So, I mean, I think they already went to dinner. I think they were talking about it. They already went to dinner with him and stuff. So I think this is going to be seamless for him. He's going to be on a good team. He already knows how to win. So, and he's going to a winning situation. This is it's going to be exciting, like I said, to see what they do, how Dallas molds and uses him. I'm curious, but where else do you want to be? And Dallas is a good city. I mean, you know what I mean? If we're talking cities.
He extends their window, right? He extends their championship window. That's what he does.
Yep.
He extends it beyond 3 years, right? Because of Kyrie age and because of the health of Anthony Davis, we were kind of like, hey, it's got to be 2 years. Now they add Cooper Flag. He extends that.
You don't have there's no rebuild. The rebuild comes when you're kind of aging out AD and Kyrie, right? And then now you just build around Cooper Flag. And oh, by the way, as he's figuring out how to play, he's doing it with 2 Hall of Famers next to him, Goodman. It's almost like this was the luckiest turn of events that we could have seen for Dallas after getting rid of Luka Doncic. Who could have seen this coming, Goodman? Nobody.
You mean 3. You mean 3, Rod. We can't forget the importance of the championship pedigree of the shooter down there in Klay Thompson. Now, we can't forget how important he is for a team that's trying to win a championship.
You're right.
I just think the beauty of Cooper Flag is you could put him anywhere and tell him, like you said, Rob, to play any role. When Kyrie's not going to be there early, he'll probably have to take on a little bit more scoring load. He can do that. And then when Kyrie comes back, you know what he's going to be? He'll turn back into that elite passing forward, right? That point forward that you can play through and let Kyrie play off the ball a little bit. I mean, Whatever you need from him, he's going to be able to give you, and his basketball IQ is off the charts, which is going to help because Kyrie, Henson said he's a great teammate, can be a great teammate, not always, but he needs to respect you. And I think he's going to respect Cooper Flag immediately because of his basketball IQ.
Listen, that's
shot in there, man. You had to get the shot in there.
Jeff is the media. Like I'm talking sitting in a room on the court with him behind closed doors on the basketball
Phenomenal
court.
dude. Phenomenal dude.
Because he respected you. But
he's
a
phenomenal
lot of coaches. There are a lot of coaches that didn't love Kyrie.
But hey, look, if I'm Dallas, I'm running horns all day. Let's run horns. Let's get this thing rolling. Horns with AD and Cooper. Hey, pick which side, roll and pop, and play out of that.
There you go. All right, let's